What's up YouTube, Dan Hype here with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today's video is a Trunks budget deck. You can easily go to Super Collectibles and get this deck for probably $50. It is very cheap. Now their original version was actually, a teammate built it, Colby. He made the deck, I played the deck, his version of it, and it was really powerful, but some of the expensive cards are expensive. So I tried to make this deck into a budget, and I replaced it with a bunch of other cards, cheaper cards, to see how it would work, and I was able to take down my local tournament with it. Honestly, it was very competitive and it's very cheap. I beat, I think, Ginyu veggeis, Ginyu apes, and SS3 Zeno decks, which are all meta decks. So I was able to take them all down on a budget. Now let's get into the deck. So the leader card is Trunks. When he attacks, you mill the top two cards of your deck. If there's a red battle card on your field or in the discard pile afterwards, you draw a card. Now, drawing a card on your unawakened side is actually very powerful. This allows you to apply pressure on your opponent while drawing cards at the same time, keeping your hand nice and full. Our black cards here is our black super combo. Every deck needs a super combo. This one's different because you need to have 5 in the warp, which is very easy to do with Trunks because he's milling 2 cards and you have a few overwhelm cards to get to that 5 overwhelm mark pretty quickly. So you can actually use your super combos when you have like 8, 7, 6 life, any of that kind of stuff, which actually comes into play and is actually really good. Now, the black cards I chose in this deck are Unrelenting Assaults Trunks. He's really good because he can apply pressure, and then at the end of the turn, he goes to warp and comes back to your hand. So you can keep using your overwhelm basically every turn if you don't draw into any other ones. So once you get one of him, you basically have an overwhelm attack every turn. The next black card is Awakening Warrior Bardock. These black cards can easily be interchanged to fit your playstyle. There's a bunch of other great black cards. I just chose this one because I like the surprise double strike attack. You're tapped out, your opponent thinks you can't do anything else. You just play him for free, like overarm 4, play him for free, and then all of a sudden you have a double striker. Sometimes it catches people off guard. I just chose them to play because it'll be interesting, but there's a bunch of other black cards you can easily play with him. Then the next one, which is probably the most expensive card in the deck, is Mass Saiyan. Now he's just really good because veggeis is pretty popular. Outside of Chain Attack Zeno, there isn't really a removal in this deck, so having him to help you move some of the veggies or things that are kind of annoying is actually pretty good. The next card is Zeno, my boy. He's obviously part of the combo, which is very popular now. Chain Attack, Trunks, and Zeno. It's a very popular combo, and it works just as well in this deck like it does any other deck. The next few cards is Kaba, just a basic red card. Not much to say about him. Now, probably the MVP of the deck is Planet M2. Now, why this is so great is because you can now apply pressure unawakened with M2, bringing their 15k base down to 10 every time he attacks. Now they have to pitch a card on a 10k leader attack every turn, and that can be pretty devastating, especially if you're still 8 life and therefore trying to defend their life. Now, the next card, we got a Trunks. Trunks just goes well with the combo, because if you can get him out, on turn 2, and then he stays alive, because people don't play too much removal these days, you can then evolve your Chain Attack Trunks onto Quick Trunks, and you can basically get the combo off on turn 3 if you wanted to. But sometimes you want to get away a little bit later because you want them to awaken before you Zeno, so then they lose all those cards and you're in prime position, especially if you're still at 8 or 7 life. Now the next card, which is Oob. Oob is actually really funny, a really fun card to use. It's a double strike 20k base. Now he's kind of just like a vanilla, just another double striker. However, after you Chain Attack Zeno, playing something like Oob, it's actually pretty hard to get rid of him. Unless they're playing removal, which again, not a lot of people do, they're going to have to attack into Oob. Now, he's already a 20k base, so their leader can't just, swing in it. The leader has to combo up just to kill it. And then also, when you're attacking, if you use your Oob and you minus them with M2, you're basically attacking 25k double strike, which is pretty hard to defend sometimes. Next card is Legic. Legic is just a free battle card if they have like a Boo or something, if they play a Boo or Bulma before you. You just get a free battle card, and sometimes that free extra attack comes into play. Now the next 2 cards, we got your Champa. It's just a nice double striker. I think Champa is just a great red card. And surprise double striking your opponent sometimes for a game is actually a pretty big thing. The next one is Stigma. Stigma's a great card following up your Chain Attack Zeno, because after you Zeno, you draw your 5 and you do whatever. Following turn, if you can play your Stigma, attack, apply pressure, make them discard a card or 2 to defend him, then sack him, draw 2 more cards to bolster your defense and the next couple turns. Stigma actually is quite great for that. The next card is Topo. He's just a great card in general. You get to negate your opponent's attack on their turn and throw some pressure on the board for your following turn. It's actually really good. Sometimes it gets tricky having the 2 red energy up, but you know, the turns that you do get to do it, it's actually very powerful. Then you get your chain attack Trunks, which is obviously there for your combo. Great card, especially when you can just chain attack in your Trunks or anything else. Then we have Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku, which is just the nuts right now. Having 8 super combos in your deck it's a really good thing. Alright guys, so that is the super cheap budget Trunks deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now if you do want to throw in some expensive cards, or if you already have these expensive cards, you can easily throw in here. So we have Time Patrol Trunks, which is a great overwhelm card. Trunks Power Overseeing Time, which is a great overwhelm card. And then you have your Unleash Gohan and Pan, which can, you know, replace things like Boo or Stigma, and they're just great other cards to go with your chain attack Trunks. And then, you know, Haru is just a really good meta deck choice right now, just because there is a lot of, you know, yellow decks running around, green decks running around. So Haru just helps out. This was my sideboard for the event. Sideboard is actually more expensive than the main board, but you know, if you don't have a budget yet and you want to just go for the cheapsies, this version is definitely worth it. Check it out, you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed.